What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I am your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me. We had to push the schedule back a day.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Bears Monday night. We usually kick it Tuesday, but we pushed it back. We did the Bears yesterday. We got the full show today, Wednesday. We're talking NBA, NFL. You already know. We're going to kick it off with the NBA. Listen, we got to touch this Jokic situation because I think it goes a little farther than was he right or wrong, or should Morris have done what he did? Was it a dirty play? Who should have got suspended? Who should have got fined? I think this is a respect thing. So I'm going to give my thoughts on that. I'm going to get Nick's 2 cents on the Jokic Morris situation. We're then going to talk about the East. The East is deep. The East is very deep.
Very.
The Bucks came off the White House and got a big W yesterday. We're going to talk about the East as a whole, and of course, that means we're going to talk about the Bulls. We'll get into all that. 7-3, they play Luka Doncic and the Mavs tonight. Warriors, boys playing ball, man. Steph looked like he won another MVP. Man. We're going to talk about them and the West.
50-piece Steph.
50-piece Steph. So a lot of stuff to talk about on NBA East and West side. Then we'll get into the NFL. Let's talk about this Rodgers fine. Is it enough? Should it have been more? We know the answer, but we'll get into that. And then I want to talk about this Frank Gore, Deron Williams fight. It's official. They're going to fight on the Jake Paul undercard. I want to get Nick's thoughts on that. And anybody else you would like to see scrap? That's the question I got for Nick. Let's get into it. No catch up. Sports Talk via Chicago. We in here. Let's go.
Now look at Mossy. Really? Oh, so that's how you're going to play it. You gonna do this? Okay, fine. That's all I needed. That's all I needed for him to do that. And it became personal with me.
Big Nick the Quick, what's good?
What's really going on, man? What's the business? How we feeling?
Feeling good, man. I got coffee on me.
Absolutely.
Shout out my guy, Alante Free Human. He got some shit dropping on Thursday tomorrow. So look out for that, freehuman.com. FREEHUEMAN. Lock in. But what's
Absolutely. Good? Man, chilling, man. Look at it outside, man. It's the most wonderful time of the year, man. Fall out here in full effect. Leaves changing colors. It's beautiful. Can't complain.
Very much so. Yeah, it's a good time of the year. Thanksgiving around the corner. So,
absolutely. Holiday season.
Holiday quick.
Yep.
So, you got a First Take Tuesday. Anything you want to talk about? Yo, I'm going to see Luka tonight.
You going to see Luka?
Yeah, I'm going to go see Luka, G.
Go check it out real quick.
I'm going to go see what Luka's talking about. I need a 50-piece from Luka and a Bulls win. That'd be a perfect evening.
There you go. First Take Tuesday for me, because I don't even know if we're going to talk about this team, but I've been talking about this on Twitter for the past couple weeks because they seem to be on national TV every single day. The New Orleans Pelicans. This is my plea to Adam Silver. Dog, stop showcasing the New Orleans Pelicans on national TV. We're 3 weeks into the season? Yeah. They've already had 3 nationally televised games. They have 15 on the schedule for the year, which even with Zion playing is absurd because it's not like this team is very entertaining. Like, I get it. They want to sell Zion and everything like that, but they should have the ability to flex these games off of TV. Put anybody else on but the 1-9 New Orleans Pelicans. Like, it's getting kind of ridiculous. I know if I'm the broadcast partner, I'm getting kind of hot with these Pelicans games because nobody's trying to watch.
You said if you're the advertisers, you said
hot? Like, what is this? Yeah, exactly. It's a small market team with that nobody wants to watch right now. So, like, I'm done with the Pelicans being on national TV. Maybe when Zion gets back, you can flex them back on. But there's got to be the ability to change out of some of these games because I just can't take it. I'm done.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, I'm cool off the Pellies too.
Yeah.
And no Brandon Ingram. He's been out the last couple too. Like,
like what are we watching here?
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. I'm cool. All right, let's get into it because I know we're gonna talk a lot about the topics we got on the board today. Let's kick it off with this Nikola Jokic, Markieff Morris situation. You guys saw it. Y'all know what's going on. And I wanted to attack it from a different angle because I feel like everyone's been talking about how should this have happened? Was it petty? Was what Jokic did over the line in his reaction. Then we got his brothers jumping in, making Twitter accounts, and they're letting them know, leave it where it is, because the Jokic brothers is ready.
What was going on with that?
The Jokic brothers is ready, all that. So let me ask you this, Nick. First of all, what do you think about the whole situation? And then we can get into the bigger thing I want to talk about.
Well, I mean, first of all, if you just look at the Jokic part of it, like, yeah, because when I first saw it, all I saw was the Jokic push, right? And then obviously you see the entire clip, you see what Morris did to him before. And to me, it's 100% justified, man. You can't go out there and just get punked on the court like that.
Nah, you can't, bro.
You can't. You know what I mean? You can't really walk that one off. Like, it's completely out of bounds. It has nothing to do with the play. The game is already over at this point. They're getting blown out. It was clearly some frustration shit, and it was clearly Markieff Morris trying to punk Jokic. That's it, right? Like, I don't care if you're bigger than me. I don't care if you're the league MVP. I don't respect you. I don't think you're built like that, and I'm going to push you like this. And there's nothing you're going to do about it. Right. And he didn't realize that Jokic isn't about that. Like, Jokic isn't taking that. Yo,
Jokic's ready.
Hey, don't mess with these Eastern European dudes, man. These dudes been through it too. So I had no problem with how Jokic retaliated. I mean, obviously the league is going to do what they got to do. You can't have that out there on the court. But it was a dirty play by Morris, hands down. And again, he can't be out there getting punked, man. Like, they're out here trying to compete for a championship. Like, he's the leader of that squad. Like, that can't happen. So I'm wondering where his teammates are, though. You know how I look at these situations. Like, the second that Morris pushes him like that, you got to have that dude who's built like that, who comes in there and handles that situation. Like, you can't be having your MVP getting pushed.
Well, this is the thing. This is an interesting one because he reacts immediately. It wasn't any delay.
Yeah.
And then he runs up on him and hits him right in the back. And then it's not like Morris hopped up and was like, yo, what's good? He was on the ground. So it was kind of like everybody just standing around looking at each other.
True.
And then
it did happen quick.
Yeah. Dante in the comments said the difference is what Jokic did can get someone hurt. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Morris could have got hurt, or Jokic could have got hurt with what Morris did to him.
Absolutely.
And all that. So listen, let me ask you this quick. Okay, because my opinion on it is I'm cool with both sides. First of all, you can see in the video Morris shot at him and went straight for him. It was like deliberate, like I'm about to body check this dude.
Yeah.
Wasn't like I'm going to go grab him and wrap him up and just touch foul him. I'm going to go make him feel me. And he ran over there and did it, right?
Yep.
So that's fine. I guess if you want to do that, that's cool. And I'm sure it's because Jokic was busting their ass all night. Yeah. So that's fine. So then the way Jokic reacts is like, yo, you just bumped into me, I'm going to bump into you back type thing, right? This is where, so I'm cool with both sides. Like, was it, I don't know what else Jokic was supposed to do. Was he supposed to run around him and get in his face and push him?
Nah.
Like,
he could have, but I think in the heat of the moment, like,
well,
no.
Dog, it's like,
he just pushed him, I'm pushing you back.
Right. You just ran up on me all crazy and hit me at half court. The game is over.
Yeah.
So then, I'm just banging you back, right? So I have no problem with either one.
And the rest of the league sees that, by the way. If he doesn't handle that the right way, the rest of the league is like, oh, we can go in there and we can just push around Jokic. No problem. He's not going to do shit about it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because this is where I think this is more interesting than people are leading on. I feel like maybe some players in the league, like Morris and co, don't respect Jokic. And he thought he could just run over there and get it off like that and kind of like bully him in a way.
Yeah.
And just walk away. Because I'm going to tell you this. It wasn't like Morris ran over there, bumped him, and then stood there and talked to him or something. He ran into him and just turned his back like this motherfucker's not going to do anything.
You're not on
shit. He's not on shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to turn my back and just walk off because it just seems like a very disrespectful type of thing.
Absolutely. And it had nothing to do with basketball.
And and this is the thing, though, too. I don't think Morris does that to other MVPs in the league. He's not doing that to Steph. He's not doing that to LeBron. He's not doing that to KD.
No.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
almost like, Jokic, I could do this to Jokic.
Yeah, I don't view you like that. I don't respect you like that. It's not like Steph's gonna whoop his ass or something like that, but it's a respect level that he has for Steph. 100%. 100%. And Morris is on that, man. Like, this isn't anything new from either of the Morrises. Like, those dudes are 100% that this is their MO. This is why they're in the league. This is something that they'll do, right? But to your point, man, yeah, it's a lack of respect for Jokic, man. He doesn't view him like that. Right. So I'm just going to run up on you. I'm going to push you for no apparent reason, even though, we're getting blown out. I'm going to take my frustration out on the league MVP as to how the game is going. Not on Will Barton, you know what I mean? Not on Michael Porter Jr. I'm going to take it out on Jokic. And, yeah, it's a lack of respect. But
hold on, look, in the comments, Colorado Kool-Aid said, I watched the entire game in Denver. The Heat were trying to hurt Jokic all night with no calls from the ref. Jokic finally had enough.
Yeah, it's Miami.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Miami. Yeah, for sure. So that's obviously a game plan that they probably went in there with, right? Like, hey, this dude, we can punk him. And now they saw that they can't, or he has a breaking point. So, I mean, again, the rest of the league is watching. So if that's how the whole game went, if the whole league is seeing the whole game and he's getting punked, they're going at him hard, they're pushing him around, he's not reacting. And then finally at the end of the game, Markieff Morris shoves him for no reason. He doesn't do anything. The whole league knows, okay, Jokic isn't about that. Like, we can go in there and we can push him around and he's just going to fold up. So I have no problem with his reaction. I mean, I don't see why Morris did that, but at the same time, like, to your point, like, hey, he's testing him.
Without question.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at with it. People were talking about if it was justified. Of course it was justified.
Yeah, for sure.
You saw what he did, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like he doesn't do that to everybody.
No.
That's where it rubbed me the wrong way. It was like, you don't pull up on the other big-time MVP dudes, other big-time boys in the league like that. You just don't do it. Yeah. You don't do that to Jason Tatum. You don't do it. So I don't understand why you would do it.
I know you do it to Jason Tatum, the Celtics, they might fold up. So who knows?
He said they might start trading folks.
Yeah, they might quit.
So that was where I thought it was a little sus, and I'm excited.
Do you think Morris should have been suspended?
Of course. If you're gonna, and
he was only fined, right? He was only fined $50,000.
Yeah, he got
right?
50 bans, and then Jokic got a game, but that game turns into probably $250,000,
$200,000-$300,000 for Jokic.
Yeah. So, like, of course.
Yep.
I just don't. It's almost like a. And then he milked it and laid on the ground like that, like bruh, like.
Well, then you see Jimmy.
Well,
they had to hold Jimmy back. Jimmy was like, "You want to meet me out?" I'm pretty sure Jimmy was like, "Meet me outside."
In the back. He said, "Bring that." He said,
bring that shit to the back.
And I quote, "Bring that shit to the back." He said, "That's what he told him." So
I wouldn't advise going back there if I was Jokic, not with Butler, but yeah.
But either way, man, like
no one's actually gonna fight though. That's a lot.
Jimmy got fined, I think $20,000 or $30,000 too.
Did he for that?
Yeah, for escalating the situation or something. They said so. But yeah, man, I don't think nothing happens if Morris doesn't run into him like that.
Of course.
So like that's it.
Yeah, of course. And to your point, he's not gonna do it to any of the other big time players. So I mean, hey, but good on Jokic for responding, because again, man, the whole league sees it if you don't. And it's going to change how you're played the rest of the year. You think if that just goes unresponded, it's a big deal, or is it just kind of like forget about it, like whatever? It's a big deal. Maybe not from a coverage standpoint, but again, from the rest of the league watching. If you're LeBron and the Lakers, they're like, hey, you see what just happened? If you're Memphis, if you're Phoenix, if you're Dallas, if you're Utah, if you're Golden State, you see that and you're saying we can punk this dude.
Yeah,
we can punk this dude.
That's really what it comes down to.
We can. It's a dude for sure that we know that we can punk.
Yeah.
And if you think that shit's not coming from Spoelstra, if that's how the game truly went, that shit's coming from Spoelstra before the game, because Spoelstra was like, hey, we could probably punk this dude. Let's go see what happens. You guys want to go punk Jokic? Yeah, for sure. And Morris is like, all right, I'm available. If it really gets out of hand, I'm available. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool. I'll take the 50, no problem. You know what I mean? Pat Riley will cut me the check in the back room. I'll get my 50 back, no problem. We're good.
Yeah, all right.
Of course. Yeah, for sure. So, yes, if it goes unchecked, it's a major problem.
We could leave that there, but yeah, I don't have any problem with what my man Jokic did, and I think Morris is petty, but I think also Morris was trying to. He did it was intentional. Like he was like, yeah, let me try to rough this dude up real quick.
Yeah.
If you go watch the clip, he sprints over there.
Yeah.
He targeted Buddy. Yo, that in the NCAA, that's a target, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was. He ran over there, targeted him, and that's what it was. All right. Nick sent me a text message as we move on to some more NBA. Nick sent me a text message and said, "Man, the East might be 13 deep, man.
13 right now."
And I said, 13. And I started thinking about it, and I was like Atlanta is at the bottom of that, and they can still get it together and get dangerous, right? So it's hard not to agree with that. He posed Big Nick the Quick posed the question to me. Only 10 can make it because of the play-in.
Yep, 10 can make it. 13 right now appear like they could be in contention. So there's 2 teams in the East that you can cross off, right? Obviously Detroit and Orlando. Like nothing's happening in Detroit or Orlando. Outside of that, the other 13 teams you could make some sort of case for that either any one of them could land in the top 10. Yeah. So what I asked you is to pick the top 10 out of that as of right now, right? Not forget the record. You can obviously go 1 through 10, but who do you have 1 through 10? So we got Miami, Chicago, Washington, Philadelphia, Cleveland, New York, Brooklyn, Toronto, Milwaukee, Charlotte, Boston, Indiana, and Atlanta. It is deep as hell.
It's super deep. And we were saying, it was
before
deep.
the year.
Before we're like, listen, man, the East is loaded. We were telling you about Washington. We're like, Washington got way better.
If some of these teams improve,
Like Washington got way better. Miami, Jimmy got the boys he's been looking for.
Yep.
He literally was at the crib, Birdman, like, let's go.
Kyle Lowry, okay. Morris, okay.
Exactly the dudes.
Tyler Hero's focused this year, okay. Yeah. Okay,
like,
thank you. Yeah.
This is who I've been looking for. Like, if Jimmy could pick, he wouldn't even play at home. He would just be the villain every night on the road and just try to kill teams on the road. Like, these are the guys that he's been looking for. So, I mean, it's hard. It's so hard to pick 10 of the 13 or the whole division, right? But like,
you just want to look at, I guess, is what three wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So I mean, if we're gonna go with the 3 that wouldn't, I think shit is really fucked up in Boston. I really
on my list too.
I really truly believe that things are just not right out there.
Not right at all. And haven't been right in a few years.
From the roster to how they're playing to a brand new coach to Stevens kind of half removing himself from a situation that I think he felt like was bad. So I'm going to try to fix it from a higher front office type level, I guess.
That's what happens when the organization knows they need to make a change, but they love you.
Yeah.
It's just like when someone goes from GM to team president. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, we don't want to fire you. We like you a lot, but we can't have you in this role. So we'll just actually promote you.
It's like something is really, really off because we're not talking about just this year. We're talking about all of last year and towards the end of the year before that in the bubble.
And you have 2 top 15 scorers, top 10 scorers at the moment, I believe. But top 15 scorers. It's not like the roster from a talent standpoint is bad, but they don't. We just saw it last week when we played them. They don't play well together, and when things go
to go right,
they fold up.
It's exactly the opposite of the Bulls right now.
Yeah.
Shit starts to get tough, and they're just like ISO ball all day. Jason Tatum, I don't know, man. It's a really interesting situation. I saw a tweet like someone was making fun of, like, they had like a sad gif, and it was like when the Celtics fans when Brad Stevens trades Jaylen Brown straight up for Ben Simmons or something like that.
You know what?
Like, how can shit get any worse? And like that was what it was.
I saw that trade proposal, and at first I was like, yeah, no way. But then I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, if it really doesn't work with Brown and Tatum, is that the best deal they could make for one of the 2 of them and bringing back Simmons?
Yeah, I guess.
Letting Tatum just be the number 1, right? There's no more, hot potato between him and Brown.
Yeah,
and you kind of let Simmons, who does his thing, plays D.
I'm so tired of the narrative, though, that your best players are the reason why this shit's not working. Figure out a way to get this shit rocking. You have 2 young studs, and Jaylen Brown, there's guys that have been getting better every year.
It gets
this
better,
dude
way
takes
better.
like leaps every year. He looks like a different guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So now the people are arguing, is he better than Tatum? Is he the best player on the team, right? So I just hate like, oh, this isn't working. These two aren't working together. Let's move them. I think the only real example of that was Tatum or was Embiid and Simmons because of the whole clogging up the lane thing and Embiid trying to work on his game to spread out to three. That's the biggest indictment on Simmons.
Yeah, but
Embiid saying like
changed his game,
changing his game
I will
so
go
Simmons
shoot
could
threes.
get to the cup.
Yeah,
and Simmons
not
basically not doing anything is like the biggest indictment.
Absolutely, 100%. It didn't work because Ben Simmons was not willing to make that thing work.
He wasn't willing to do anything
at all. I'm just going to do this. I'm the same player every single year.
So, and another example is like Jimmy Butler. Like, we got to get rid of him because whatever. Like, in all his spots. Like, he's not the problem. Like, figure out the other, like, work around him.
You mean Jimmy Butler who's showing up at 3 a.m. to work out every single day and getting better?
Guy, right. Yeah. Like, he's the guy you need to keep around. So, I think there's deep-rooted stuff wrong in Boston.
More deeper than that, yeah.
Obviously, Milwaukee's going to get it together. We talked about this before the year, too. They're done with this regular season, win 60 games type shit.
And I say it every year. Those teams coming off the NBA Finals, disregard them for the first 6 weeks of the NBA season. There's just too much. It's been a hell of a summer. Too much went on. Like, no.
Yeah, 100%. So we said that too, and I think it's also mixed of like, let's just go ahead and win 53 games.
Yep. Pace ourselves.
51.
Yep.
And we'll take the what is that? 30 L's, 31 L's.
Yeah.
And get to the playoffs and do what we got to do.
And then Giannis will put on his cape and there's still nobody in this conference that can stop him. And we know that. He
had 15 points, I think, in the third yesterday, like 5 minutes left in the third, maybe like 14.
He finished like 35, right?
He finished with like 31, 19, and 6 or some shit like that. He went ballistic.
Yeah.
So he's going to get his. They'll start rolling, and then that's it for them. So
they're
9, right? Like, I'm not worried about them.
No worries. Yeah, I had no worries on them either. It's funny. Like when I think they were 4-6 when I sent this to you yesterday. It was before they got the win last night. But yeah, I'm not worried about them. Indiana was a cross off for me. I know they play hard. I know they have a scrappy roster. I know every year it looks like they're out of it, and they always seem to come around at the end.
Yeah.
But I just think the East is too deep for them to stay there in that top 10. Are they on for you?
I know Brogdon's missed a couple games too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I'll just give you my 3. I got Boston, Indiana, and then I got Toronto. I don't see how I don't see how they can keep rolling. I guess Cleveland is obviously the probably the team that I should be putting in there. But
they're good.
They've been playing really well.
They've won 4 straight.
Yeah.
See, I think when you look at the list, it's like, oh yeah, you gotta take Cleveland out. But it's like, no, hold on. Well, so Sexton injury is big for them because I think
massive.
With all of his faults, they need a guy who can get a bucket, and he's available for that. He's just one of those guys who can create his own shot. But I also think they've been waiting to see what it looks like running it through Garland, and obviously Rubio's been huge for them too. But they run that 3 big lineup that no one's really prepared for. Like, this dude Mobley is nice, first of all. If you're not watching Evan Mobley, I suggest you watch a Cleveland game. Like, he's nice. Jared Allen, you know the deal with Jared Allen. And with Markkanen, look, it's like, hey, be our 4th or 5th option. And he's like, fine, absolutely no pressure. Like, that's cool. I'll go out and get 10. I'll do my thing, like whatever. And teams aren't ready to handle 3 guys that big. So I think that's going to continue to give teams problems. So I like Cleveland there.
They have 8 guys averaging 9 points or more. And
look,
they have Sexton is averaging 16. Garland's averaging 15. Allen's averaging 15. Mobley's averaging 15. Shout out Ricky Rubio.
Rubio's nice. Rubio 37 the other night.
Rubio getting ready to be in the league for like another 6 years.
How did no one pick him up in the offseason is what I want to know. I don't understand how he ends up in Cleveland.
Yeah, I've always had big love for Ricky Rubio.
Professional.
Shout out, dude. That's a big indicator of how old we're getting because I know you remember vividly as well when he was coming 15, in. They're like, there's like this 15-year-old Spaniard that dishes like Magic Johnson, and I'm like, we'll see about that type shit. But
couldn't shoot forever, but now he's
getting ready to be. He's getting ready to be out the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's one of those ageism ones. Yep. But Yeah, man, he's going for 14. Markkanen's going for 13. Kevin Love, when he feels like playing, he scores 10 points. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing their thing.
Okoro is nice. Like, he doesn't score, but he plays great D, high energy guy. Like, I like him.
Yeah, so
it's a nice little roster.
The Sexton injury is interesting. I think the biggest addition for them is Allen.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a big move. That's why
and then they just stole him in that trade too, right? They didn't even give anything out. They just got him. They took him for salary, right?
No. He was part of the
he was part of the Harden trade.
Part of the Harden deal, yeah.
But they got in, but they didn't really have to send anything out. I think they got in to make salary work. They
you're talking about Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, how they got Jared Allen. I think that the Nets needed to dump him, and Cleveland was like, fine, we'll take him for nothing. And it's like, wow.
Yo, I should go find the pod because I talked about this, man. The Nets could have kept Allen, help me out. I'm blanking on my man's name. I was on the Pacers now. Sixth man.
Yeah.
He was the sixth man for the Nets.
Karis LeVert.
They could have kept Allen, LeVert, and then had Kyrie, and you're gonna have Kyrie and KD, and then it was like you had a full year already. Now y'all about to come back. I don't know, man. It was so interesting because I felt
without getting James.
Without getting James, I thought that team was very, very dangerous. Or even if, I mean, you could talk about if you like James before or Kyrie, but either way, I think Allen and LeVert, and LeVert was so cool with coming off the bench and doing his thing against the second unit.
Yep, yeah.
So
just let me cook when I'm in. I'm good.
Yep. But yeah, so the Sexton thing is interesting, obviously, but like. I could see Cleveland clipping that 10 spot and getting in the plane and making a little noise.
Absolutely.
So like, yeah, I don't know. Toronto.
I like Cleveland. So I'm surprised you had Toronto out. So I had, and it pains me to say it. So I had Indy, Boston.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte. I don't know. They're just their defense is terrible and they're just not playing well. They've lost 5 straight. I think they're really entertaining to watch. I just feel like, they can't stop anybody. Toronto, for me, if Toronto stays healthy, they're too well coached to fall out the top 10.
Yeah, top 10.
We talk about that. Like and I'm surprised you said that because you're like the original Nick Nurse guy. Like
I've been telling y'all about Nick Nurse
early on. Like, hey, this guy can coach.
This guy can coach, bro.
And we saw when we played them, like that team is just scrappy. They play great defense, and they're just so well coached. I can't see them falling out the top 10.
You know what it was? Part of me really wants to see Charlotte in.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I'm good off. I'm good off seeing Toronto. So like, I'll take them out. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you're dead on about the Hornets. If you watch, people, everybody listening, go watch one Hornets game, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, they give up buckets.
The pace is the pace is something like you've never seen.
Yep.
People just get the ball, come down, 2 dribble, 1 pass,
fly,
30-footer.
Yep.
Like that's what it is.
And when they're going in, it's great, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really and like in the playoffs, they would be getting beat. They'd be getting beat up.
Destroyed, yeah.
They'd be getting destroyed.
That every night. Teams would figure that out after one game.
Yeah. So you'll know what we're talking about. Go watch the Hornets. They're fun when shit's rolling with Miles and those guys, but it's a lot of look like some pickup shit is what it looks like. If you want to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
It's almost like they have too many guys. Like too many guys that can score, but not enough guys that can do everything else. But like it is super entertaining, man. But yeah, they can't stop anybody. Like literally cannot get it. They can't.
No, and it's not even like they can stop them. They're not even trying. They're trying. They're just trying to run and gun
on offense.
They're gonna let you score 126 and they're gonna score 130. Like that's like it seems like what the plan is over there. So
100%.
It's interesting to watch them. But yeah, I think that was what it was. I'm like, I'm cool off seeing Toronto. Yeah. Let me get Charlotte in the game. But yeah, they have lost 5 straight. Like all that little hype in the beginning was interesting. You know what's the interesting thing about the Raptors too? Undefeated on the road, but 2-5 at the crib.
Which is crazy because you thought they were waiting to get home after being in Florida last. They hadn't played at home in 2 years.
Yeah, maybe they just used to being on the road now. Like they like being on the road more than anything else.
Certified lover boy needs to start showing back up to the games. Is the issue, man. He needs to come back in the building. But yeah, I'm not worried about them. But you know what? Okay, let me ask you this: as far as worry, another team that's lost 5 straight, the Hawks. Where are you with that?
Yeah.
Do you think that figures itself out? Because they started slow last year, obviously made a coaching change and everything.
It's a different slow though, right?
But this is slow with you're not going to fire McMillan.
No.
And they look out of it.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on, dog, to be honest with you. I think I also think the foul things are affecting Trey. Like no one's talking about that because they're all talking about James.
Yeah.
But I still think that affects
Yeah,
Trey
he was-
Young's game a ton.
Absolutely. It
You know what
affects
I'm
how
saying?
you guard him. It affects, yeah, for sure.
Right. So like people are talking about Harden
And to be clear, the league is just not calling fouls anymore.
Period.
It's not even like hey, we're not calling the tricky shit. It's like, no, we're not calling fouls. Like it's especially on certain. If you were on the memo, like James Harden, you can punch James Harden in the face when he's shooting, and they might not call a foul.
Yeah,
they're just not calling fouls.
They're just not calling tic tac type shit.
Nothing.
Which is you know what's crazy, dog, is it's almost like some of these leagues get in the offseason and they like have a meeting like shit's going so well. How can we make this shit worse?
Yeah.
The NFL is like,
with the taunting, it's like,
it looks like these dudes are having too much fun. We're making too much money. Like,
let's
how can we
flag
make
that.
this product worse?
Yeah.
Like, let's go ahead and put taunting in the thing.
Well,
like,
and I get why you wanted to get rid of some of the Trey Young, especially some of the Trey Young shit, like the stopping and having people fall over your back and all that. Like, it's just not basketball shit. Yeah. But it's almost like they went so hard to where it's like, no, don't call anything, especially on these guys. Any of these guys who we know that bait people into fouls, Harden, Trey Young, to a lesser extent, Lillard, like these dudes just aren't getting to the line at all. Like Trey Young, not going to get to the line. James Harden, never going to get to the line. But it's affecting the entire game. You're just seeing a lot of shit not called, which on some level we asked for it, right? We were like, damn, the league calls so much ticky-tack bullshit. But now it's like this overcorrection to where it's like, man, we're not calling shit.
Yeah, we're not calling nothing.
We're not calling nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this is the thing, right? So I think that's also affecting Trey, and that hasn't been talked about as much. But Bogdanovich isn't playing as well for whatever reason. I think people were expecting Herter to take a step up, and he's kind of taking a little step back coming off of that.
They were when they gave him $60 million.
coming off the playoff run that he had. I think.
What a time to have a jump shot.
Yeah, this is the thing too, dog. If you really want to make money, go on a crazy run in the playoffs and be a free agent.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, it's
that's
like,
always been the recipe to success.
It's always been the recipe, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, yeah, man. I don't really know though, but like the guys that are supposed to be killing, that signed new deals, I think. Well, John Collins is still there. He's still doing this thing. He's still making a big impact in a lot of different ways.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I think I don't really know why they're not. I haven't watched too much of the Hawks, but what I've watched is it looks like they're just having a bad game, but now it's every night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know why. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. It seems like another team's just kind of out of it. Too many guys. They don't necessarily play well together. Defensively, they're a nightmare. And then, like you said, some of the guys that you expected, I think a lot of their like secondary pieces, your Bogdanoviches, your Herters, your guys like that haven't necessarily stepped up. Collins only averaging 15 a game right now, too, and he's a 20-point per game scorer. So it just seems like they're all out of it. The thing with them is they got so much talent. I'm not necessarily worried about it because they're one of those teams that can go on a run, but it seems like they're kind of hungover from the playoffs too. Someone wrote an article saying that they're pretty much the high of playing in that playoff series in Madison Square Garden was such a level that they can't really get themselves back up to that level to play in regular season games. But I mean, eventually push is going to come to shove. I trust Nate McMillan. He's a veteran head coach. He'll probably change some things over there. So they just need to get a jump start. But I'm not worried about them falling out of that top 10. I think they got too much talent. Anybody else that you're worried about? Anybody? So let me ask you this: like with Washington, you see them falling back to earth, but they're going to stay in the top 10, but not necessarily a top 5 squad.
No, they're not a top 5 squad. I don't think. Okay. But
who knows?
Yo, my guy, I've been talking about. Listen, I've told this story
You've been on
before,
Washington,
and I've been on Dinwiddie. This guy,
you love Dinwiddie.
Yo, Dinwiddie, dude, Dinwiddie can hoop. And I remember when we had him on the Bulls roster, I'm like, yo, we got to get this guy some time. Yeah. Like, why isn't he getting any time? But we also had jokers running the organization at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
So that makes perfect sense. But I've told this story multiple times. I lost a bunch of money when I was in college, like some book money I had on Arizona State, and they were playing Colorado. and this big afro mustache kid was killing us every possession. And I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? And it was Spencer Dinwiddie, Colorado. He played point guard. He was coming down possession after possession, and he was killing us. And I've been on him ever since. I'm like, yo, this dude is a monster. So, yeah, I've been on Washington. You know
what I'll say about Washington too? They essentially, like, if you look back on it, and you have to go through a few different deals, but if you look at it, right, they were in that awful John Wall contract situation, right? Like, John Wall is still owed like another $90 million on his deal, right? And they had it before that deal even started. Remember, it was like, no, that deal kicks in next year. And
it was like 2 years.
In 2 years. But they essentially flipped that John Wall deal. Again, you go through the trades with Westbrook, all that, but they turned John Wall into KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell. That's not bad. Like, considering where you could have been at if you were still holding on to that Wall contract, which, again, is the worst contract in the NBA, right? Yep. They turned that into KCP, Kyle Kuzma, and Montrezl Harrell. 3 guys that can play. 3 guys that are absolutely going to play minutes in the NBA team and can play for a contender. 2 guys that have a championship. Yeah. So, again, they traded Westbrook and they did all that to get there, but that's essentially what they turned John Wall into.
Well,
it's a good move. It's smart management. Like, shout out to their GM.
You have a bona fide scorer in Brad Beal, been a bona fide scorer. Yeah. Then you go out and add a big in Montrez, who will come off the bench for you and do some work. Then you got Spencer Dinwiddie to run the show. Yep. Then you add, listen, I know people make fun of Kyle Kuzma all the time. If you watch Kyle Kuzma, he'll have stretches where I'm like, this dude can fucking put it in the basket. Like, what's going on here?
And the 15 and 11 right now.
Yeah, and the same thing with KCP.
Yeah.
A perfect guy to make fun of, but when that boy's got it going, you're like, yo, okay. Like,
it was great for them in their finals run.
Yeah. So
it's great for them in the bubble.
Yeah. So, I mean, you add Kuzma, who's solid. You add KCP, who's solid, especially on the defensive end as well. And he's got a chip and he can knock down shots. Then you got Trez coming out of a situation where
it just wasn't a good fit.
It just wasn't a good fit, I guess. But Trez can play. You know what I'm saying?
19-9 right now.
Like 6th man of the year a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, this, he could play. Then you got, I can't believe my man Bertans was actually a thief.
Yeah, he's still.
Oh my God, my man stole so much bread.
Shooting 39% field. Bertans
is a thief. Dog. I can't believe it. That's my guy too. Like,
you loved Bertans.
Dude, I love Bertans, bro. My man got over. He's stealing. But
yeah, Bertans is 100%. I don't know what happened to him, man. He had the cooker.
Yeah,
shooting 33% from 3 right now.
Yeah, bro. And then you got 33%. guys like Gafford, who's got a lot of energy, apparently. And one of their best young players, Hachimura, isn't even playing.
Not playing, yeah.
So, like,
he's hurt, right? What's wrong with him? He's got something going on.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. If I remember correctly, it was like he's just like out, not with the team. Look it up real quick, actually. If I remember correctly, it was like Rui Hachimura not with team. Like, there wasn't like ankle or anything like that. So I don't know if it's like some COVID thing. I'd have to go back and look. But, dude, Washington looks a lot like Atlanta last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe.
A bunch of guys that can play. Yeah, fun. Yeah,
that's
I like
the vibe
that.
They got. Yeah.
And again, man, I can't give them enough credit for getting out of what looked like a terrible contract situation and turning it into a contender. Not a fringe contender, you know what I mean? An exciting team, something that your fans can get behind. So for sure, yeah, he's out of the team for personal reasons.
Yeah, he was just out. So I remember I read that and I was like, man, I thought that was going to be a big blow, but they're still balling and they're missing one of their.
Tokyo kicking it super tough right now. I don't want to come back.
Yeah. So and by the way, no one's talking about that.
Yeah, that's
no one's brought it up.
For them. Yeah, for sure.
No one has really said what it is. It's very flipped from like a Kyrie personal situation where it's
well, because Kyrie tells you.
Right. Hey guys, I'm out today.
Hey. I don't know why y'all are covering me. I'm going live right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ramble on live for 90 minutes. Stop covering me. But I'm going live.
Yeah, I'm actually going
20 million
live,
followers. I'm going live. Fucking guy. Yo, what is he doing right now? Like, what if you were
like a day to day?
Your top 3 things that you think Kyrie is doing every day right now. Like, what does he look like in the morning?
I mean,
he wakes up.
If you let him tell,
is he in New York City?
Let him tell it. He's probably read 150 books since the season started. I don't know, man. I don't know what Kyrie's doing because, like,
I've read The Art of War 5 times.
You don't see, because you would be seeing pictures of him like out in the street if he was out in the street.
Yeah.
Good question, man. I don't know. Is he on an island
is he in
somewhere
California?
chilling?
Is he in New York? Is he on an island?
Interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know.
What is Kyrie doing right now?
Where is Kyrie?
Where is Kyrie? Hey, do we have an update on Kyrie Irving? We'd like to know. Do they even have his number?
Yo, and you know what he would say to that? Like, why y'all worried about what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I'm just zen, black man.
What you worried about me for, man?
I'm like the wind I blow. It's just a game, an illusion.
That's exactly what he'd be on if you asked where he was. Like,
you're all pawns on my chessboard.
Exactly. So,
oh man,
all right, let's get off of. Okay, well, we got one more big team to talk about. Is the Chicago Bulls?
Yeah,
stand in the East, and they're 7-3, man, rolling. Luka tonight, 2 big wins, like you said, over the Nets in Utah.
I think people need to see them win those games. Two certified contenders.
I think it really helped coming because I was shocked that we lost 2 in a row to Philly. I'm like, okay, split. Yeah. All right, fine. But like the 2 in a row bothered me. So
we've always had problems with Philly, though. We've always had problems with Philly's size. We've always had problems with Embiid. We just always have had problems with Embiid, which is I mean, go figure. But yeah.
Also, Drummond is trying to get paid.
Yeah, he is.
Forget all that other nonsense. Like, I got to get back to the baggie.
I need some money. I don't like this minimum contract.
Yeah, I don't like this.
I don't like this at all.
These game checks. These game checks not what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, that's not it. I don't like it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, what's your thoughts on the Bulls? You know, we try not to pummel y'all with Bulls, but they're a big player in the East right now. They're tied at the top with Washington and Miami, 7-3. They've been playing decent ball away and home. They have 3 wins on the road, but we know those are a little sus because we watch them every single night. But what are your thoughts? Wins or wins? Yeah,
it's working. I think that
it's working. That's a good. You can almost just stop the shit right there. Like, what do you think about the Bulls? Like, it's working.
It's
all
working.
The moves are working. Right.
The moves are working, and the things that I like is that they're winning games, and you can still see where they can improve. Right? You can still see who can improve. You can still see what guys still aren't playing at 100%. But I think the biggest question, the number one question, was the Levine and DeRozan fit. That was it. Right. That's what you had to see. Because if that didn't work, everything else could be perfect. If that didn't work and that wasn't clicking, the season was a bust. It works. It fits, right? Like, are there times when it gets kind of clunky? Maybe, right? You could talk about whatever that game was when DeRozan took the game-winning shot. Or I'm sorry, when Zach tried to go for the game-winning shot, even though DeRozan had been red hot, right? Like, that might happen here and there. But other than that, man, these 2 guys play well together. I think they're both benefiting from seeing the amount of single teams that they're seeing because you have to worry about the other guy. Zach has never had anybody who play with him that takes this much pressure off him, right? Like, usually Zach's going into the game, the defense is 100% keyed on him, and he has to play this hero ball to go out there and get his 27 to 30. With DeRozan out there, especially when DeRozan starts cooking, you have to worry about DeMar, which allows Zach to do his thing. It takes the pressure off of Zach. It takes the pressure off the defense to stop Zach, which opens up more opportunities for him. I don't think it's one of these like dueling banjos situation where it's like your turn, my turn. Like, I think it's going within the flow of the offense. I think you got a bunch of unselfish guys around them. I think this team gets the ball and looks to push the pace. I think a lot of that is based off how Zoe plays. And he can still be playing better as far as shooting the ball, right? Yeah. So everything with that is working for me. I think when Kobe comes back, you'll get some help in the bench. Although Ayo is going to take those minutes. Like, what looked like would have been some Kobe minutes have now been turned into Ayo minutes to me because this kid keeps playing. He's fearless. He's out there grabbing rebounds. He's out there playing hard. He's out there closing games. So I think there's still a lot to look forward to, man. I mean, obviously, the number one question I have is Vooch. and what you're going to do in that situation because he's just looked completely out of sorts on both ends of the floor this season. But yeah, it's working. Sum it up, yes, it's working.
I was reading Steph No, former beat writer on The Athletic for the Bulls, and he flat out said they need to start Alex Caruso. He's like, Javante's not giving us enough as a starter. Caruso's only playing 28 minutes. This dude needs to be playing 35, 36. How do you feel about Caruso getting flexed? Because then you move Caruso to the starting lineup. You move Javante out. And then when Kobe comes back, it's Kobe, Ayo, Javante, and that's the second unit.
Man, the only thing I have with that is I love the energy spark that you get when you insert Caruso into a game.
Well, okay. Well, I agree with that
because it just shifts. There's like a clear shift that you see in the game when he enters the game.
But I guess no, because I agree with that, and it's blatantly obvious. And this is the other
defensively,
thing.
especially like clearly on the defensive end of the ball. Yeah.
But most of the time, we're starting the game off really badly too, right? And that's how we've been doing. We've had very slow starts all year, and then Caruso comes on, and it looks like he's just lifting up everything, which he has been, and then they start to roll a little bit, and the bench starts playing well. But maybe if you start him, we don't even have the slow starts in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not completely against it.
I think it's just a minutes thing.
It's a big spot for Javante Green for sure to be starting on this team. Like I think, and who's to say that you won't get that energy lift flipping him to the bench? That you're getting from Caruso. And obviously not the same level, but he's a high energy guy as well. So yeah, it might not be the worst idea in the world. But I trust Billy Donovan's rotation to this point. I mean, again, like this is a 7-3 ball club. Like I trust the moves that he's made. I trust the rotations that he's gone with. And I think he feels comfortable with this how it is. There's a reason he started Javante Green, but I see both sides of it.
You know what I'm saying?
fine either way. Do whatever. I'm fine either way.
In other words, instead of us coming back from double digit episodes, we could
start off hot.
We could start off hot, play well, and he does a lot for us, and I think the more minutes the better, right? But
he's really good.
I do think it'll be interesting to see what happens when I know this wouldn't happen either. It'd be really interesting to see when Kobe comes back what they're going to do with the bench. But
because Ayo is. You got to give Ayo minutes.
Yeah, apparently.
You got to give him minutes. I mean,
yeah. 100%. So
I think you need Kobe scoring on that second unit for sure.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to how he plays with Ayo. But then it's like, okay, well now Javante Green loses minutes. So
but I wouldn't be mad if you worked some Vooch minutes for the second unit as well.
That was my answer for this. So when we were going to talk about Vooch, that's exactly what I was going to say. Why not run him through the second unit and let him feast on backup bigs?
And I'm not saying take him out of the starting lineup because that could get a little spooky.
No.
A little mentally locker roomy.
Well, messy. I mean, you're talking about a two-time All-Star. You're benching him, for sure.
But
after 10 games.
But I would love to see him get more minutes with that unit. Because I'm going to tell you this.
You can feature him.
And let's talk about Vooch now because I think he's a rhythm guy. And in Orlando, he got infinite rhythm. He could just do whatever he wanted, right?
Yep, yeah.
And then last year, he got a good amount of rhythm because it was basically him and Zach. They weren't playing for shit, and they were just out there.
Zach was out with COVID for like 2 weeks at the end of the year. Yeah,
exactly. So now he's in a spot where he's not getting nearly the touches. He's not getting the rhythm, and then he's now starting to deal mentally with, I think, this is my opinion, that I'm not hitting shots. So maybe I should give it up to these guys that I know can get a bucket, and DeMar and whoever else, and Lonzo and Zach, because I'm not hitting shit. So it's like he's a little tentative now. But before it's just like boop, 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 fire and doing his thing, whatever. So I don't know, man. He has looked bad. Let's keep it 100.
Bad.
And it's still kind of a joke a little bit because we're 10 games in and it's like, yo, this guy looks terrible, but he'll get it rolling. He'll start knocking. I couldn't tell you how many times I've heard Stacey King say, he usually hits these, man. He's going to get going pretty soon. Ball's just not going down for Vooch right now.
Yep.
The ball is just eventually these are going to have to start falling a little bit.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I fully agree with that though, man. Like, why not try to work him into some of those second unit minutes where you can feature him fully, right? There's no Zach to worry about.
Right.
Yeah, you're not trying to get Zach and DeMar going. It's just like, hey, Vooch, go feast on this backup big, right? Like, it's yours. Get as many touches as you want. We'll work it towards you. Because the issue also with him, man, is like if he's not going out there scoring, his liabilities on defense become that much more glaring.
Yes.
If he's scoring 25, you're not like, okay, he's getting cooked in the pick and roll and all this, right? But if he's going out there scoring 12, 13, and really at this point, at times what I'm seeing from him is he just starts settling for the three-point shot. It's like, I don't even want to go down to the paint because I have no touch right now. I'm just going to stand back here and shoot threes. And it's like, yo, if that's what you're going to do, it's like, man, I would much rather, no lie, see Tony Bradley out there sometimes because my man's is playing, brings a lot of energy, right?
Cap.
At least does some shit defensively. Right, brings that energy, will contest shots. Like that's like the Thibodeau way of doing things. Like, remember Tibbs was just like, hey, look, I don't like what Joe's giving me in the fourth. I'm gonna play Omer Sheik, and sometimes that's what you got to do, man. So yeah, I think if he can't turn it around, you really got to look at reducing his minutes, taking him out in some crucial situations because he's such a defensive liability.
Yeah, and I texted you this during the game. This guy wants no part of any contact whatsoever.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
I'm talking about zero.
Yeah,
not a body, none of that. Like even if and this is his game, so like I'm not saying he should change his game, but like even when he's got his back to the basket, he's turning around and flipping that shit before he even touches anybody on the back down.
Yeah,
like, he just doesn't want any part of any contact. Forget about trying to get to the line. That shit is not gonna happen. Yeah. So. Yeah, man. I mean, right now it's very early still, and it's only been 10 games, but it's been bad. It's been bad.
But you know what, man? It's funny. It's like, okay, this is our problem, right? Our problem is that we need to get our multi-time All-Star big who has proven that he can score in the NBA going. Like, what a problem to have, right? Like that's if that's what we're worrying about. Like, if that's the number one thing that's sticking out to us, great, man. Like, coaching staff get to work on him because this guy has proven that he can play really good basketball. So
yeah, and I would love for him to be there when DeMar slows up a little bit at some point down in the stretch here because he's scoring 27 a night all of a sudden, right?
But like, it's like, what about DeMar? Is like, man, this is gonna slow.
Nothing.
The guy just gets to his spots. Like, hey, this is where I want to shoot from, right? Everybody knows I'm going to shoot this mid-range. Everyone knows I'm going to take 2 dribbles and I'm going to pull up, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, that shit is automatic.
Yeah.
The DeMar DeRozan mid-range is automatic.
It is. It feels like that, too. Jason Stevens in the comments said Vooch been looking like the Monstars took his talent.
Yeah, he's the same shit as Harden and all those other boys. Yeah, whatever's going on around the league, Vooch definitely caught it.
Yeah, so it's fun, though. I'm going to the game tonight. I'm excited. I hope Luka scores 50 and the Bulls win by 12. Be a perfect evening. I'm excited to see our boy Jalen Brunson as well.
Jalen Brunson, hey, man.
He probably going to have his family up there for sure.
35 players in the draft better than Jalen Brunson. That's what they told us, right?
That's what they told us.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Check the film, man.
That's what they said.
Roll the clips.
Call my man from Villanova. What's my man's name?
Jay Wright.
Call Jay Wright up.
Yeah,
Call Jay Wright.
We took Chandler Hutchinson over Jalen Brunson.
Yeah. All right, because man, we like to chat. We're getting up there. So let's talk. Let's get to Warriors, and then we'll get to a little bit of the NFL. The Warriors in the West, man. I'm hearing people say on TV, on Twitter, they gonna win the title. Wait till Clay get back. They gonna win they gonna win the whole shit. Wait till Wiseman get back. They gonna win the whole thing.
Yeah, when did James Wiseman all of a sudden become a factor? I've heard a lot of people say when Wiseman gets back, it's like, did y'all watch him last year?
Wait till Wiseman get back. They gonna win the whole thing. Obviously, my guy Steph is going berserk. He seems to be what he did last year and what he's been doing this year so far has been phenomenal. He's trying to remind people of what's been going on, and I think he's having a lot of fun being that guy that not that he obviously he loves playing with Clay, but he's like, yep, Clay's not here, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just try to score 40. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
How you feel about the Warriors in the West?
They look great. I mean, again, man, they got, and I think this year, Steph's got help, man. Jordan Poole has stepped up. Draymond's obviously going to be Draymond, right? But Jordan Poole has stepped up. Wiggins is very comfortable in that like fourth option role. Another guy where it's like, hey, take the pressure off me and I can perform. Just don't put the pressure on me. I don't want no part of pressure.
Yeah.
Pressure bust pipes, and I'm a fucking pipe. So please, I don't want any part of the pressure. But hey, as a fourth option and a defensive guy, awesome, man. Yeah, I can 100% do that. This dude Toscano Anderson playing decent for him, man. Like they got some guys that can ball. He's getting the help, and with Steph leading the show, he's still top 3 player in the NBA, right?
It's
like,
not because Otto's over there.
Otto Porter Jr.
It's not. That's not the reason they.
Otto's in the Bay with $100 million, man. So he's probably doing great.
It's not because Otto's over there that this is happening, right?
But it's funny, man. Like Otto Porter is a guy off your deep bench if he stays healthy and comes in and shoots uncontested jumpers. Like, cool, great, sign me up. It's just a fun team, man. Like I don't know.
Jordan Poole scoring 18 points.
Jordan Poole's giving him 18.
So
but you've seen this creeping up. Like they've believed in him the last couple of years. Like they've been giving him minutes. Like, no, we believe this dude could start playing. The thing that I'm just kind of skeptical on is when Clay comes back. Like I think a lot of people, and I don't know if we talked about this already at the beginning of the year, but a lot of people are acting like, Clay hasn't played basketball since before the pandemic.
Yeah, they are acting like he's just going to walk on and be old Clay, right?
Yeah,
right away. Yeah,
like he hasn't played basketball since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, it has been a long time since Clay's played ball. He still hasn't come back from this injury. It's just going to take a while. No, I get it, man. Like, because he's a shooter and all that, like, that's not going to go away. But he's also a guy that needs to move around, needs to get open. He's a defensive player. Like, those are things that we need to focus on.
He's so good on D.
Yeah, he's so good on D, but you're talking about a whole bunch of lower leg injuries.
Yeah.
What's that mobility going to look like on defense? So, again, I don't think he's just a shoo-in for his same 22, 23 points a game the second that he comes back.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm worried about. But fuck all that. Without him, they look really good. They look really fun. They look like a team you don't want to play. And, again, we talk about coaching. We talk about the players like that. They got all that. So, for sure. Just hope. Yeah.
They're playing over their head. Let's be honest here. Like they're 9-1.
Yeah.
So like, I like what they're doing. I like what Steph's doing. They've been going berserk. But look at the last 4 games they've played. The Hawks been struggling. They played the Rockets. They played the Pelicans. They played the Hornets, who've lost 5 in a row.
The Rockets.
Then go back to October. Listen, they played the Thunder. Then their last loss, their only loss of the year was the Grizzlies, who are very good. Then they beat the Thunder again. They beat the Kings. They beat the Clippers early in the year by a bucket, and the Clippers were struggling. They're playing a little better now. They beat the Lakers. They beat the Lakers twice.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're they're playing over their head a little bit.
So you're not quite a buyer yet.
Let's let them get into the thick of it a little bit. But yeah, like their schedule has been super soft to start the year. So we'll see what happens when they get into the thick of stuff going on. But man, I do love what Steph's doing. Take a guess at how many threes Steph is attempting a game right now.
12.
Yeah, through 13 and a half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's crazy. So he's out there going off, firing away, shooting like 39%. So yeah, man. I mean, they've been playing really well, but I think they're playing over their head for sure. And the schedule's been super soft to start the year. So we'll see how that happens and how it gets rolling. But you can only play who's on your schedule, right? So like
Absolutely. They've been who's in front of you.
They've been doing their thing, but I'm telling you right now, the schedule's been soft to start the year. So we'll see. But hey, 9-1's 9-1. They're top of the West.
Absolutely.
Let's move over to the NFL. Talk Aaron Rodgers. Get up out of here real quick. We'll give probably y'all like 15 more minutes. Hey, yeah, shout out Dante in the comments. He's like, yeah, Jordan Poole been hooping. Yes, sir, he has been, bro. He's been going crazy and looks very confident doing so. Like he been hanging out with John Moran or some shit. So, yeah, shout out Jordan Poole. Let's move over to the NFL.
Shout out Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain is nice.
Okay, cool. Let's fire off the NFL real quick. Also, Rodgers getting a fine for a pocket change for him. I think it was like $25K or $20K or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Packers got a $300,000 fine.
Yeah.
Is that justified? Should it have been that way? Because listen, the Packers didn't know.
Yeah, the Packers knew, and it's on them to enforce. So 100%.
But this is the thing, right? Who's going to enforce anything to him? You couldn't tell that man to do anything.
Yeah.
If you're the Packers.
Yeah.
They might have been trying to tell him. Like, what do you do if you're the Packers?
It's one of those situations where the relationship is already so strained that it's like, yeah, we're not gonna get on him about his mask now.
Right.
This guy might not show up. We just got him back in the building. We're not gonna talk to him about his mask.
Like, I'm not asking this dude to put on a mask.
That's why they got the fine like that, because it's on them to enforce. The league is sitting there looking at them like, hey, you guys know his vaccination status, and you also know what he's doing at every time inside of the building.
Yeah, and you let him go up there in press conferences and not wear a mask.
Yeah, he's going to parties and all this shit without his mask and all that. So I have no problem with it. Look, man, the whole situation is funny. You know what I mean? He looks foolish. Anytime you say I consulted my good friend Joe Rogan on some medical shit, like I'm out. You know what I mean? So like I was out at that point. The fact that he went up there and even tried to like justify it, compared himself to Martin Luther King, like it's the whole situation is funny to me.
Spooky.
He's just funny, man. Like when he talks, like he's just funny, man.
He talks like an elitist.
He talks like a very much elitist, like
and then he tries to kind of cover it up a little bit with these are my thoughts and this is what I think, and I'm gonna, do what I want with my body. But it's very much like you're dumb, I'm smart.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do whatever I want, and
everything is said like a real roundabout way. Like
because it's like it's said in a roundabout way because we're too dumb to understand it anyway. Exactly. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So I think what's crazy too is like a lot of these. Whoever's not vaccinated, big time players on their team, like, man, what's going to happen? Like, what would happen if it was the NFC Championship and we're talking about this? Like, you're dust.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? So that type of risk in the whole thing is, I'm not saying
unvaccinated starting quarterback is scary.
It is. I'm not saying start I'm not saying put your health in front of playing ball, but it's just simple science shit, man. The vaccines
we're still having this conversation. I don't know
crazy.
what to tell you. Look, man, we've been to Lollapalooza, we've been to Vegas, we've been to a fucking Raiders game, and I've taken tests after all that, and all the motherfuckers have coming back negative.
I'm gonna tell you this,
and I don't really know what else to tell you. Shit works for me. I'm going to get my third shot in 10 minutes, so I don't really know what else to tell you.
I'm gonna tell you this, bro.
I've been all over.
I had the COVID. I got the vax, and I ain't looked back. I literally have not looked back since I got the vax, and I've been doing everything I want to at any time. I've been to Portugal. I've been in the street. I've been to games with you.
No COVID,
With no it's been shit. This Pfizer been working for me.
I took 3 tests after we came back from Vegas. All them joints was negative. I was like, hey,
if we didn't get it then
if I couldn't get it there, if I couldn't get it in Lala, then guess what? It's not happening. The vax works.
It's working.
Shout out Pfizer, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Salute.
All right, let's talk about this Frank Gore, Deron Williams fight
is so funny.
Situation. How do you feel about the athletes fighting in the first place? What's your thought? Is it just whatever?
That's where the money is right now, apparently, man. Like you see the blueprint is these celebrity fights. So now everybody who's even, and everybody likes boxing, right? Everybody likes to fight. It's fun. So I don't have a problem with it. If you want to watch it, cool. If you don't want to watch it, don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's a mockery or anything like that, or if anything, man, it's bringing some attention to the sport. Hey, maybe somebody end up liking boxing out of it and want to see some real fighters. So I got no problem with it, man. I'll meth stream it. You know what I mean? For the free.
Yo, man, don't you can't be putting that shit out. That shit is too crispy right now.
They might get the knock.
Low key, people, if they're not my homies and they're asking for a link, I don't got one, bro. Like I'm gonna tell you that now, because
it is some real hush shit. But I think,
because this link right now, I might as well have pay-per-view, dog.
Yeah, that's just
like that's
1080p.
like Bro, it's so good right now. So,
yeah.
If you're not the homie, don't ask me for a link, bro. I don't have one.
I'll definitely peep it. But it's just fun, man. It's exciting. It's entertaining, and they throw them on like off nights too. Like that one shit was on like a Sunday night before football had started.
Yeah,
was it like the Jake Paul shit? So it's like, yeah, why not, man? I'll throw it on.
Well, this is the thing for me. I don't see where. I guess if the only negative that can come out of it for me, if I'm watching as a fan, is the Nate Robinson type situation. You have to get crazy folded.
But I mean that it's over with, man. But he'll probably never be invited back into the ring again.
People are gonna talk about that forever. Like when Nate Robinson comes up, it's gonna be like dunk champ, crazy bounce, and he got knocked out. OD.
Got folded up.
Oh, he got folded up crazy by Jake Paul. So that's gonna come up. But that's the only negative. I think if you come in there and train, you get in good ass shape. Mm-hmm. You get a couple 100,000 on the check, and then you get to have a new experience in the fight game and just have fun with it.
Why not? Yeah, you get some relevance. Right. Yeah, why not, man?
Like as long as you don't get knocked out crazy, you're straight.
I don't know why Deron Williams decided to fight Frank Gore, though. That's a man I would not fight.
No, we were having this conversation the other day. Well, this is the thing, bro. Frank Gore is obviously a beast.
Yeah.
He's been a beast since Miami Kane days.
And he for sure has old man strength.
Without question.
Yeah, it's there.
But here's my angle. D. Will is what, 6'6"?
Yeah. He's reach probably crazy.
Frank
He's
Gore
like 6'4", yeah.
Yeah, but Frank Gore is like what, 5'9"? Maybe?
Yeah, but Frank Gore's a Miami boy and D. Will's a pretty boy, man. Like,
is he pretty though? We don't know that though.
We know he's pretty, bro.
He's
just
pretty. Light skinned with a taper, dog.
He's pretty. Go back to some of the pictures of him at U of I, bro. He's pretty. He's light skinned with a taper.
That's all.
Point. Exactly. D. Will pretty. Dog.
He just light skinned with a taper. Like I don't know if D. Will is tough or not. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Remember he was super doughy and everything. He's a pretty boy, man. You know the type.
So that's my angle. Like, I don't know how he's gonna look I've never seen either one box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So like everyone, because my initial thought was like, man, Frank Gore, man, fight somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anybody else.
But then I'm like, okay, well, I haven't seen either one box ever, and D. Will is gonna be way bigger than
the reach is gonna be crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be looking down on.
But it could be a Tyson situation where like Frank Gore is low and compact to the ground and packs a lot of power. He just might go. He might understand the reach disadvantage. He's just gonna go into you right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
When Frank Gore toted the rock for 15 years in the league.
On no ACLs.
Yeah, no ACLs.
I think Frank Gore, no bullshit, had like 5 ACL surgeries.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Man. He tore one at University of Miami. And I think he might have tore 2 at Miami and then tore like 3 more in the league.
Hey, he from the swamp.
Like I don't even know. Look that up real quick.
Mess with any of the Miami boys.
See if you can pull up how many Frank Gore ACL surgeries how many ACL recons Frank Gore's had.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like that was my initial thought was like, man, Frank Gore, but I don't know if they could box or not, who could box, and I think
he's torn his ACL twice.
Just twice? No way.
Overcame 2 devastating ACL tears on the same knee in 2 seasons.
On the same knee in 2 seasons.
Yeah. So back-to-back ACL tears on the same knee in 2 seasons. So that ACL's
okay. So that one leg is out of there. I thought it was more like 3 or 4, bro.
Still.
But either way.
Played 15 years in the league.
Yeah. Shout out.
As a running back.
Is there anybody? I'll get you out of here on this. Is there anybody that you would like to see, celebrity, athlete, get in the ring and square up with somebody else?
Man, it's got to be someone who like Charles Oakley.
You gonna go Oak?
Give me somebody. Yeah, I want these dudes who like the stories. Like the Oak fighting stories are like legendary, like knocking dudes out over gambling debts in the locker room, shit like that.
Right.
So but see like that age. See, it'd be like Oak and like Zebo, but the age difference is too much because Oak's like 20 years older than Randolph. Man, give me like Zach Randolph and Ron Artest.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I just we'd have to get just like these tough guys that are allegedly tough, but nobody knows.
Give me like D Rose D-Rose versus
D-Rose.
D-Rose could probably low-key bang.
Yeah.
D-Rose look like he would fire off you. Does he? I mean? Like quick, he wouldn't say shit either. Derek put the bats on, buddy.
That's funny as
D-Rose
hell.
versus Russ. D-Rose versus Russ in the boxing ring.
That'd be interesting.
It's
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Because, it could be, and if they got people to do it, it could be really interesting where they could make money on this shit. Like, people would watch this.
Aaron Donald versus Myles Garrett in a UFC match.
Like, people would watch that.
Donald versus Garrett? What?
Like,
hey, $100, I pay it. I'll pay for that.
People would watch that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
that's where I think the boxing and stuff and the fighting gets interesting because, like, it's just the oldest competition of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, can this dude beat up this dude?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, who mano y mano type shit? You know what I'm saying? So,
and so many different ways you could go with it. You just put two people who you think have some type of evenly matched to them in the ring, and you're ready to go.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
All right, we'll leave
Obama versus Bush.
Get young Barack in there.
W might have that right hook though. Man. He's a Texas boy. He's a Texas boy. He drinks beer and fights.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, we'll leave it there, man. No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago for Big Nick the Quick. I am your host, Sean Little. Make sure you subscribe for us everywhere, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Leave a review, man. Drop those reviews. That helps us shoot up the little chart there on the sports section. Tell the homies. Retweet it, man. Like it. Retweet. Share. You know the vibes. For Big Nick the Quick, no Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. We're out of here.